Hello, good morning. Welcome in to another episode of Good Morning Nasdaq right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It is the 17th day of January, year of our Lord 2025. We got Huddie, we got Dom, we got all of you amazing people in the chat this morning. Thomas, Jabril, Wayne, Dark Trades, Lucas, a name I can't pronounce, O's, BSN. Looks like you just put letters together. Good morning. Looks like a slow day for what we do here on Good Morning Nasdaq. Talk about the biggest gappers of the day. We do it every day that the market is open. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 8:45 a.m. and 9:15 a.m. on Wednesdays for some live trading. But as far as I'm seeing, biggest gap of the day looks to be in the 60s, 60% up on the day. So it is Friday. I feel like gappers, if you're a gap and crap shorter, pretty good week. A lot of faders, a lot of not scary price action in the morning too. I think the only ones was FIO that you either lost on or went on a ride on. SLRX ran a little bit in the morning, but I would say over 50% of the gappers this week faded pretty good. Waltz, we had some other sectors running. We had quantum bouncing back. We had the overall market kind of had a couple green days. What else did we have? We have the world trying to figure out if DJT is going to go higher or not. And yeah, it's been an interesting week. Well, we had Fannie Mae as well. Fannie Mae continued its breakout and had a first red day and a second red day following Bill Ackman's Twitter Spaces. It's been an interesting week, right, Huddy?
Been a good week. I've liked all the things that have been moving in the market. And I kind of like that Friday's kind of, feels a little died down. I don't mind that. If anything, I'm just not going to trade.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit my weekly goal yesterday. So as I made my watch list last night, I'm like, ugh, it's DJT or bust. And I'm okay with that. I'm like, it's middle of the winter here, so there's not a lot for me to do, and none of my friends want to go ice fishing, and it's quite cold. But I'm okay with not pushing buttons today based off of what we've gotten this week. The opportunities, you either made your money or you didn't. And now it kind of feels like start prepping for next week and see what the rest of these stocks do today. Do we want to talk about the gappers? Let us know in the chat. Do you guys want to just ask us a couple questions? We'll freestyle for 15 and get out of here. Or do you want to talk about the 60% up gapper?
I was going to say, let's not talk about the gappers.
That's your vote. Your vote counts as 5.
Nice. I get a vote.
While we're waiting on you guys in the chat, make sure you're in the chat. Get over there. Have a wonderful time talking to each other. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I like to only ask once. I don't like to harp on it, but we're here every day. We're posting long-form content on Mondays. We're here every day the market is open. Hit that subscribe button. Help our channel out. We don't buy any subscribers or anything, so we try to get the best information we can, and all we can rely on is hopefully that you guys hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. One gapper, just take questions while you guys are in there voting. Even when I ask people to get in the chat and for a specific reason, I feel like we struggle. But we got some questions in there. People, someone says, looking to have more fun for the 99th time with PHUN. I did a phenomenal job of trading this one yesterday, buying and selling at the same price. Which in the end of the, if you're maybe a beginner or newer or don't quite understand sector momentum, might look like stupid. But I know if DJT breaks out and goes to 50, that fun will go 7 or 8 plus. It's got its own little daily chart set up here into some resistance behind us, which is why I'm not looking for this to go near the top end of its range. But if you remember DWAC and Fun, that was back when Huddie used to attack those, right? The crazy runners, they ran together as friends.
I don't think I was long. I don't think I was long either of those.
Shorting them?
Shorting them, I'd love to do that.
Yeah. But they ran as friends and DJT into the inauguration. There's been a lot of talk of some build up into that. I'm not necessarily certain about that. Like, I still believe that DJT can probably run next week. Wow, a lot of panic selling yesterday into the close, into after hours, ended up breaking the lows of the day, and then kind of came back. I checked it in like overnight and it was back in the 41. So I'm like, oh no, did they just get everyone? Tough stock to play. Reminds me a lot of GME from last year in the summer. When you're playing these bigger stocks, bigger prices, and you got $3 to $5 a range, they can do a whole lot of. It's really hard to just be like, I'm buying 40.5 and I'm risking 40.2. They're gonna shake you out every time. And so if you're that type of trader, you need to either recognize it and stay away from stuff that is going to lure you in over and over and over again while you're just trading inside of a range, or you got to take, Kyle was in this thing from a week or two ago, and that patience approach of, I'm going to stick to a risk level like my life depends on it. If I get stopped out, I lose my 1R and it's over. But like, this has not been one to just add every time you think you like the price action, anytime it's wedging or, consolidating your highs. Like, this one has been proving to be very choppy. If I throw on extended hours, look at this. Yesterday, looks like we're about to go break out into the close, and boom, break lows a day. It's a tricky one, and then it comes right back. There's a lot of players here. There's a lot of money in this. You got to have the right plan. It's sometimes, and that's the funny thing about trading. And we always joke all the time, like if I just pulled up a daily chart of some stock that I lost on that day, and maybe I was buying it and I lost on it, and it went 80% higher, and you just showed it to someone who doesn't know anything about trading, they'd be like, how could you possibly have lost on this? It went up all day. Well, trading is timing. Trading is having the right plan at the right time. And to create the right plan at the right time, you have to understand the vehicle in which you are trading. And DJT is not your typical low float small cap in the way it moves. And I think probably taught some people some lessons over the past few days. But I would be willing to get hurt again. I'm not afraid to try again. If it sets up. I've only taken one loss on it, so, and made back some on the second trade on it yesterday. So I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm ready. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button as well. We'll just take some questions this morning. Someone does want to talk about VS. So if you have anything about VS you want to hit on, Huddie, our expert in-house on all things gappers.
I've seen this company many times. They're like, I think they're quasi AI, but I've seen them do like dirt nasty offerings, like kind of midday.
Canadians, right?
Yeah, I think they're a no good company just based off what I've seen them do.
1.75 million float there. News was yesterday that they are expanding into Brazil, one of the world's largest gaming markets. They're a gaming company, and offering ability is medium. Overall risk is high. They don't have any cash. And taking a look at the daily chart, really one big shining day to look into, and that is this day in which it gapped to 4, ran almost to 10 before fading all the way. So that resistance, there's a lot of room here to play off of from 3 to 10 in terms of where this can run, but does have a history of not being able to hold on to its runs. Got some volume days back prior to that move where the stock really could not get anything going either. So kind of have a stock bouncing back into resistance right now. Up 66% though, so not really mouth watering. Started to push for 450 into the open. Probably going to garner some more attention though. And news is kind of weak. They're expanding to Brazil, even though they believe Brazil is one of the best gaming markets. We're traders, I guess there's probably a lot of gamers and traders. But are you a gamer, Huddie?
I feel like Japan has the most amount of gamers. I'm not a gamer. I was a gamer at one point when I was a kid.
I was like a fake gamer. Like I snuck into the groups to have friends because there was that period, and that got really hot when me and you were in like end of middle school into high school, where like you could hang out with your friends on a Friday night if you all just got on Xbox Live,
Xbox Live was game changing.
It was, but it was like, now the only way I can hang out with my friends is if I learn how to play Call of Duty.
Our beginning days was Gears of War, Halo, and Call of Duty. Like, that was incredible.
That was it. And then when you all hung out, it was like FIFA and NBA.
Yeah, exactly. And NFL.
Yes. You played the sports games when you could see each other play, and you do tournaments and stuff. Monday market closed correct. Nothing going on Monday, so we did we have a full week this week? I think we had a full week. Next week we'll get back to a break. What?
First thing about Monday is I'm flying back from Thailand on Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds exciting.
I
Back to
could stay another
America?
month. Yeah.
123 Trevor Max says, Dom, did you take the FIO first Green Day? I did not. Had it on a watch. Kind of a trendy little move right now that's taking place is kind of the midday first Green Day where they don't do anything during the morning when I would expect that type of move. Then they go on to do it. I stayed away from this one, even though I really like the setup because they had that offering at $3, and I didn't know how that affected. It didn't matter on DATS. It clearly didn't matter on FIO until they did their offering on the high day break in the 4s, and then immediately went back down to the 2s. So it is a crappy company, but there was moments in there of some opportunity. If I shut my eyes and traded the pattern, would have been a solid trade. Yeah, even the 5-minute high break, 270s, risking 240s, and it went to 450. So congrats to any longs who did take that one. NUKK thoughts? A few questions on that one.
I've never traded this one.
What is it?
Which is kind of crazy. When I look at this daily chart, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it was the volume thing back then that I didn't like, or maybe it's like a low float that I didn't like about it, but
That was good volume.
yeah, I don't know. I just never traded it.
I don't know why I don't feel like I haven't seen it.
I remember it.
It's up 60%, so kind of a day one gapper. To me, we've spent enough time away from these 3-day spiking to kind of start a new move. But this resistance is fresh, and there's probably some all the way up until you get to the highs. I never know when people ask about a ticker what they want me to say and what they think I'm going to say and what bias they want me to confirm. But I wouldn't do anything with this.
Yeah, me either.
I don't know what it is. But all I really see, if I had to put gun to my head, I had to pick a pattern, it would be short into resistance. I'd probably pull up a 40-day chart of this entire move and try to find a really key area of resistance and probably wait for it to spike. Like it would have to go 45, 50, and then I'd feel good about a shortened resistance. But even if that exact situation happens, it won't go on my radar, if that makes sense. It's just a bouncing stock back into resistance. So nothing for me, but if that's your speed, more power to you. We got a boot camp coming up.
This thing came from $1.
Yeah, I missed this. I don't know. Maybe it was on a watch for first red day, and I'm just forgetting the ticker. But the first red day was abysmal, so maybe that's when I called it on that one. We got a live in-person boot camp coming up end of March. So if that interests you at all and you want to meet us in person, listen to presentations, talk to guest speakers, have an all-around great day of 3 to 4 days of in-person communication, trading talk, live trading itself. We'll be in LA March 22nd through the 24th. Clovertrain.io, link in the description if that interests you. Sorry for anyone who's definitely not going or not interested. We'll probably hear about it until March. All right, let's see here. Wayne says, you're all high if you think you'll win with DJT. I don't agree or disagree. I mean, which is what I'm saying. It all comes down to plan. You could be dead right, and we all could have been dead right for weeks and saying that DJT was going to run into the inauguration or into the week of it and still lose on it 4 or 5 times. That's the way trading works. But to win, you have to have the right plan. And it was probably buying yesterday's scaries when everyone was selling. But that's just not me. And still think there's a world where you close your eyes and it's over 42, 43s that at some point a cushion will be created. How many tries to get to that point? Not sure. Someone said Nuck daily breakout. Do I have the right chart? It's not a breakout, right, Huddie?
Not a breakout that I can identify.
All right. Jabril says the days of the market having a day off in the middle of the week is coming to an end. I'm excited for that. Dom, how did you do on the quantum bounces? Horrible. It's not my specialty. When we start delving into non-patterns, and it's just more of common sense, like quantum stocks were the hottest play for months. A lot of them going up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percents over those few weeks or months. and they all fall off cliffs, and they head back, for 3 big red days after a huge gap down. It's more of just intuition that they shall have bounces back once that has slowed down. Problem is in actually playing them. I actually had the right plan. If you go back, if you're a part of Clover and you look at my watch list from this day right here, 113, I wrote, I'm not sure about timing them, and it's not technically a first green day for me, but I think they bounce back in a multi-day fashion. Dead right. How did I play it? Lost on them treating them like first green days and then didn't swing them overnight. So sometimes you have the right plan, you don't follow the plan or take the trades that are part of the plan. But we did get a really nice multi-day bounce. All of them, even, QMCO had a really nice bounce for 2 days. QBT ended up leading it for a while. Really big move, almost 100% from the 6s up into the 12s. I lost money on them on the morning of the bounce day down here on basically all of them, RGTI, QBT, and QBTS. But if you just had the bigger picture idea and patience, you did get some good bounces out of them. And maybe that's something I talk about in my own personal journal of some misses for the month. But you never get too mad at yourself when it's not your perfect play. And sometimes that costs money, and other times you dive in at the right time and you catch a nice big winner. Where would I have entered on PHIO? Well, I stared at this was it yesterday did we do this Wednesday or whatever? But if I didn't play it, it means that I didn't want to enter it. But the again, hindsight, it's like asking me like, okay, where's the best entry? Disregarding that, probably a 5-minute high break into that mid-afternoon, thinking that we have bottomed and we are struggling to go below the previous day's area, which is this 250 area. We went below it in the morning, then bounced right back and started consolidating around VWAP. So would have maybe said, in recent days, we've spent most of our time below recent lows, and now we're struggling to break below it. So I'll wait for some confirmed strength, which would probably be this break over high day. So 272, put risk on 241, and see if I can get, 80 cents to $1.50 on it. But again, that's in hindsight. I didn't trade it, so clearly I didn't believe in it enough. What do I think of Holo first green day? What do you think I'm going to say here, Huddie? Let's do an experiment. Holo first green day. What is my answer?
Hang on, I got to pull up a chart.
Pull it up, pull it up.
It's not a first screen day.
It's not a first screen day. No. It is not. It appeared to be one after a move from 150 to 9 and then having consecutive red days. The problem is those red days never stopped. And even though we've been green some of these days, it's going sideways now at the low. Like the whole point, I mean, even yesterday, it has a tiny little wick and it's a giant volume day for it relative, and it couldn't go anywhere. It's a former pump already, not something I want to be giving too much attention. I was watching it back here in the 3, 4s, and 5s for a bounce. Same with Fifi, but that ended up just not bouncing. Once we, the point of first green day is to take advantage of the volatility and of, like, what's the word? Like the momentum of the moment, like the 3 to 5 day stretch that this stock is in the limelight. It has attention. And once that goes away, I don't want to be a part of it because shorts have already covered, longs have moved on. Who's buying it? What's getting the move going? And when we don't have that, I'm done. And once we after 3 or 4 red days, if we're not bouncing, no one cares to come back to the stock. There's probably insider selling or dilution. Shorts are already long gone. They're not watching it anymore, and they're not going to cover. And buyers have just went to other places. So not a first green day just by pattern, technically, after these 5 days go sideways. And it was a failed one that never really bounced back here. So not a first green day. You got to memorize the patterns. And sometimes it's not always black and white and easy. Because sometimes there are some first, the quantums aren't first green days in my opinion, but they were reasonable. It was reasonable to believe that those were going to bounce. Yeah, and at the end of the day, Holo is ex-China pump. Poop. Scum of the earth. Someone said Nuke was like a black swan. If it was a black swan, I feel like I would have noticed it. I don't know why. Maybe we were paying attention to it and we didn't. I don't know. That's a weird one for me. All right. One last question, Friday, and then we are leaving here. Huddie, are you hitting VS short at the open, or does it need a bigger gap? Is Huddie here? Have we lost Huddie?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, I was on mute. No, I will not be touching it. It needs a bigger gap for me.
VS was our only gap of the day, and that is only up 64% right now. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for this week. It was a good week. Lots of different types of opportunity. Got 2 really good webinars out of it and 4-leaf Clover. Did live trading Wednesday. Had a great Wine Wednesday. If you ever want to rewatch any Good Morning Nasdaqs or Wine Wednesdays, head on over to our homepage on YouTube and go to playlists, and you'll be able to see an archive of all of those. But really appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate the subscribes, I guess, and the likes. 2 more of you to get it up to 50 also, by the way. But yeah, on days like this with no gappers, I guess just talking it out is a good way to end our weeks. Have some coffee, have some water, have some tea, and get ourselves going. And for me, it's just about finding the best opportunity today. And if there is none, starting my weekend. It'll be a long weekend if you take today off. But we'll see all of you Tuesday because the market's closed Monday. So we'll see you Tuesday, 8:45 a.m. And I hope you guys have a great day trading. Wrap up, hopefully, a great week. If not, long weekend's a great time to get into the stats and start making improvements for the rest of the year. We're still very early in the year. And let's not all assume if we're having a great start, we're going to have a great year. If we're having a bad start, we're going to have a bad year. And let's all dive in and just do a little bit more work. All right? Sound good, Huddie?
Sounds good.
Huddie says sounds good. That's our sign off. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you guys on Tuesday right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. Goodbye.